everyone, my name is Donovan, and today we're going to be taking a look at two high-end GPS smartwatches with a very rugged design, and these are specifically ones that are designed for endurance athletes, so runners like myself, cyclists, swimmers, triathletes, hikers, mountaineering, anything like that. These are going to be watches designed for people like that. So that being said, we're going to be comparing up the Garmin Fenix 5 Plus that I have over here in my right hand. Actually, it's in my left hand on the right side, and then over here on the left we have the Coros Vertix. So I've had the Garmin Fenix 5 Plus since I think last November, so I've had it for quite a while, used it very extensively, and then the Coros Vertix I've had for about a month now. I've been using it exclusively for the last 13 days, and so I want to go ahead and compare them up. Specifically today I want to talk about 5 ways the Coros Vertix beats the Fenix 5 Plus and reasons why you might want to consider this one over the Garmin. Alright, so that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Let's talk about the price. So I'll link down in the description if you're interested in checking them out, but the Coros Vertix comes in at $600, so definitely not inexpensive for sure. But the Garmin Fenix 5 Plus, when it first came out, the version I have here came at $750, so definitely more expensive than the Vertix. Right now you can pick it up anywhere from around $600 to $700 depending on where you're looking. So in general it's about the same price as the Coros Vertix, probably a little bit more expensive in most places, but the retail price for this watch is $750. There are a bunch of different versions of the Fenix 5 line, so they're going to run anywhere from around $400 for the older Fenix 5 up to about $1,000 for the high-end Fenix 5 Plus. So depending on which version you get, it could be considerably more expensive than the Coros Vertix, or actually a little bit cheaper depending on which version of the Fenix 5 line you get. So the version I have again is $750, so a little bit more expensive than what you get with the Vertix. Alright, so price out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about 5 ways the Vertix beats the Fenix 5 Plus. So reason number one, and probably the most important thing, is going to be the battery life. So this one is definitely a watch designed for very high-end endurance athletes. So if you're someone who needs just great battery life, I would definitely say the Coros Vertix is for you. So if you're maybe an Ironman triathlete, ultra marathoner, maybe someone who's doing a long hike, you're not going to be able to power up your device for a long time, then I would say the Coros Vertix is definitely the better watch in that circumstance. If you look at the Fenix 5 Plus, you can see right down here that they say that you're going to get 19 hours in GPS mode. Now, this does also have a GPS plus music mode. In that mode, you're going to get more like 8 hours of battery life, so definitely a lot less than what you would get with the GPS mode only. So 19 hours of battery life, that's not bad, but if you're doing maybe again, like I mentioned, a Ironman triathlon or an ultra marathon, you might need better battery life than just that 19 hours, and so you would definitely want to go with something more like the Coros Vertix, because with this watch they say 60 hours on GPS mode, or if you use the ultra low power mode on GPS, you can get up to 150 hours on GPS power mode. So you're definitely going to get through whatever workout you're doing, whether it be a 200-mile race or an Ironman triathlon. You'll be able to power through that whole thing with the Coros Vertix. So I've actually been using it for the last 13 days. This has been my exclusive watch for the last 13 days, and you can see here that I'm still at 56% battery life. I haven't charged it up since then, including a 10-mile race that I did last Saturday, and I think in that 10-mile race it went down 2% over the entire race, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, to be fair, there are some features that this watch has that this watch doesn't have that this watch does have, so that's something to keep in mind, and one of the reasons why this watch gets such great battery life. But if we're only talking about battery life, there's no question the Coros Vertix is definitely the better watch for that purpose. Alright, the second way that the Coros Vertix beats the Garmin Fenix 5 Plus or any watch in the Fenix 5 line is the button scheming. So you can see here on the Fenix 5 Plus we have 5 buttons. Over here on the Coros Vertix we have 3 buttons, and what makes this one so great is the fact that this button right here is basically taking the place of 3 buttons over here on the Garmin. So on a Garmin watch, you can see this is our up button, this is our down button, and this one over here is our select button. It's also kind of like a menu button, so if I hit this one right here, it's going to jump me right into my workout options, and then in order to scroll through it, I can go up and down using these 2 buttons. So what they've done on the Coros Vertix is they've replaced all 3 of those buttons with this one here, and it actually is a crown here, a rotating, I think that's what you call it, a rotating crown, and I can rotate through my various widgets like this. If I hit the button, it will select some things, or it will take me directly into my workout options here as well. So that's really nice. And then it's also the select button. So let's say I want to go for a run, for instance. I can just go ahead and hit that. And it's going to let me know once it has GPS and my heart rate. And then I can go ahead and start my workout by hitting the button again. So that's my select button. Over here I have a light and back button as well. And over here on the Garmin Fenix 5 Plus, basically the same buttons, but again, instead of having 3 buttons for up, down, and select, they've put it all into that one using that rotating crown, which I think is very brilliant. Not that there's anything wrong with the button layout of the Fenix 5 Plus, it's just nice that instead of having all of them, you have 3 built into that one. So definitely a huge thumbs up on the Coros Vertix when it comes to the button scheming. All right, the next thing is the build materials. So if you get the highest end of the Fenix 5 Plus, the Fenix 5X Plus, and that is the Sapphire Edition, then you will get all of the same build materials essentially that you get over here on the Coros Vertix, but the $750 version that I have here definitely does not have as quality of build materials as you get over here on the Coros Vertix, and this one's actually a heavier watch. So even though it's built with, I would say, lesser materials, it is still quite a bit heavier. So this is a stainless steel backing here, and it does not have sapphire glass, so I haven't really had any issues with it scratching up, and honestly, I don't know that I necessarily need the sapphire glass, but over here, this watch comes with sapphire glass, and instead of using stainless steel, we have a titanium alloy, which means it's going to be significantly lighter than the Fenix 5 Plus, and honestly, that's one of the first things I noticed about the Fenix 5 Plus when I first got it, because I was coming from I think a Garmin Vivo Active 3 Music when I switched to this watch, and this one is beastly, it's heavy, and you notice it when you're wearing it, whereas with the Coros Vertix, it just feels like an average watch. It doesn't feel super heavy, and that's because instead of using stainless steel, it's using titanium alloy, and that's significantly lighter. And then again, also we have that sapphire glass as well for scratch resistance over here. So build material wise, I definitely say the Coros Vertix is better, especially at the price point, because you're not going to get the same build materials for $600 on the Garmin watch. All right, so build materials is the third way. The fourth way that the Coros Vertix beats the Garmin Fenix 5 Plus is its the ability to handle extremes. So this watch is definitely built for extreme situations. So in comparison, the Garmin Fenix 5 Plus has 5 atmospheres of water resistance, so you can feel free to go deep sea diving with it, for the most part, because 5 atmospheres of water resistance means you can go, I believe it's 84 feet underwater. They say actually, if you look here on the back of the watch, it says 100 meters, where over here on the Coros Vertix, they say 150 meters of water resistance, or actually waterproof. So this one's 10 atmospheres water resistance versus the 5 atmospheres water resistance. This one is made to be able to handle extreme cold, also extreme altitudes, all of those things it is designed for. So if you want to climb Mount Everest, by all means, this watch is going to be the one for you. And that brings me to another reason why this watch beats the Fenix 5 Plus, because the Fenix 5 Plus does not come with a pulse oximeter. So if you're not familiar with a pulse oximeter, the purpose of that is for altitude acclimation. So it lets you know how your body's doing in altitude acclimation. So if you're at if you're climbing Mount Everest, for instance, and you want to know how much oxygen your blood is being able to hold, and how efficient your body's being able to use that oxygen. A pulse oximeter is what's going to tell you that, and you get that here by default on the Coros Vertix, whereas if you want to get a pulse oximeter with the Fenix line of Garmin, you're going to have to get the Fenix 5X Plus, and you're going to have to spend a little bit more money, and then you get it. But it comes with the Vertix by default, so that definitely is an advantage to the Coros Vertix. All right, so there you have it, 5 ways that the Coros Vertix beats the Garmin Fenix 5 Plus. Now, just to let you know, overall, I would probably say my preference between these two watches is probably for the Fenix 5 Plus. And like I mentioned before, I will be doing another video in probably about a week or so where I give you reasons why the Fenix 5 Plus beats the Coros Vertix. But if you're an endurance athlete, you want a watch that can handle the extremes, I would say the Coros Vertix is definitely going to be the watch for you. Thanks for watching. I hope this video has been helpful for you. If you have any questions, go and leave them down in the comment section, and I will talk to you all in the next video.